So they say that having standard operating procedures helps automate a business, and every company has standard operating procedures for their entire process, from operations to finance. But have you ever asked yourself, what are my standard operating procedures for recruiting? What are my standard operating procedures for interviewing? Most businesses, they hire the wrong people simply for one reason only. And that's because you don't have a standard operating procedure for how to recruit for a certain position. We have standard operating procedures everywhere across the board, except for probably and arguably one of the most important activities that you do as a business, and that is recruiting and hiring. How many times have you fired someone because after a few months you realize they're not the right fit? How many times have people quit because they started working on a job and a few weeks later, a few months later, they quit? It's all because you don't have a standard operating procedure. You did not design a recruitment strategy for your ideal candidates for a certain position. And most importantly, you didn't create a standard operating procedure that is designed for your interview process. How do you pre-screen for that specific position? What questions should you be asking? How do you do initial interviews with that specific position, and what questions to be asking then? How do you do final interviews? And designing essentially a 4-stage interview process with an SOP specifically for that position. Because to put it simply, you may be a company that has tradesmen and office staff. You don't interview tradespeople and office staff the same way. If I needed an accountant and I also needed a mechanic, those are two totally different interviews with two totally different processes, with two totally different ideal candidates and requirements. So what are your standard operating procedures? If you don't have any, you don't know where to start, you need to give us a call. You need to reach out to CPG Recruitment, because we are the specialists at designing with industry knowledge, years and years of industry knowledge of how to design the perfect standard operating procedure for the positions that you need to hire for. Shoot us a message. Let's talk soon. Hey, thanks for watching our content. Listen, if you're running a business and you're struggling to find staff, I want to introduce myself. My name is Christian Saab. I own CPG Recruitment, and I help companies across North America find the people that they need to find. Listen, a great business cannot be built unless you've got great people. You and I both understand that having the right people on your team is so important, and that's where I could come in and help you. So listen, I want you to shoot me a text message. Here's my direct cell phone. Have my number. Reach out to me. I'd love to hear your story and get to know what you're trying to accomplish, and that way maybe I can help you fix this problem.